So there is something called DMSO. Let me try to pronounce it. It's dimethyl sulfoxide in English, and it is a pharmaceutical substance. It is a solvent and it is natural. Before I get into what it is and how to use it, I just want to mention that I'm not a healthcare professional nor a doctor, and I don't recommend here anything. I'm just talking about my own experience. So please do your own research and make your own experiments and experiences, and let me know in the comments if you like the video or if you maybe have to share some knowledge on DMSO as well. So I got this big bottle here, and first of all, I would like to share a bit about its, how do you say? Yeah, its state of being. Right now it is crystalline. I don't know if you can see it in the bottle. It looks like ice, and that's because it's cold. So once we're hitting 20 degrees again, it will become fluid again, and then it's obviously much easier to work with. And I also would like to mention that it is something that can explode and burn, so just make sure you heat it up very gently and slowly, and you work with it carefully. So this is a 99.9% solution, and they say you should not directly use that in your face. Things or places or moments where you can use it directly is, for example, when you have a wart or a fever blister. And they also say anything above the belly button, meaning the face and the upper body, you should only use a 30% solution. So let's say you have this dropper bottle, 50% would be here, 40, 30. So about this much you would add DMSO, and the rest you can fill up with whatever you want to apply on your face. So what is DMSO? What does it do? It is a solvent, as I said. It sucks out anything, and it also helps to absorb anything much more easily and deeper into your skin, your tissue, your cells. So that means it is very important to always work clean, to have the DMSO in a glass bottle, not in a plastic bottle. So if you're going to use it on your body, to make sure that no nanoparticles or whatsoever land in your system. So how I use it is that I was looking for like a health care routine, for something that helps my skin to age naturally and to maybe also slow down the aging process, and to increase the the rejuvenation, the how do you say, the healing of the skin, because so often it's not really that we're aging, we're just having damaged skin from the sun, from air pollution, from, I don't know, people that are smoking and drinking. I feel like you can always see it in their face. They just look older. And essentially, yeah, you need to make sure that you don't have too many free radicals in your skin and to have the right pH measure in your body, basically. Not live to acidic, meaning I think the highest thing that can actually make you age is stress. I think stress in general is just causing any form of disease. So anyways, I was looking into natural healthcare and skin, yes, ways how to treat my skin, because I'm absolutely against any like fillers and Botox and whatsoever. And then I found DMSO. A lot of people, they actually use it when they have arthritis, because it also helps, as I just said, to yeah, let's say you have arthritis and you have a cream that you apply on your joints. You would first apply the DMSO and then the cream, because the DMSO helps the cream to be reabsorbed deep down into your body, so it arrives even in your bones, which then helps with the inflammation and any joint pains and so on. And when it comes to beauty and skin, you can, or maybe first I share about the St. John's wort. So this is a tiny bottle I also made a while ago with St. John's wort oil. St. John's wort flowers, dried flowers that I found. And the DMSO, I let them soak for some time. Usually they say it's about 24 hours. That's just enough to absorb the good stuff from the plants or the mushrooms. But I like to let it sit in there for a little longer. So sometimes I leave it for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on what it is. And the St. John's wort makes your skin also quite sensitive to the sun. So I would only use that in the evening. So when you have any scars or any fever blisters, then I would really recommend, oh no, I shouldn't recommend you anything. I'm using the St. John's wort and I apply it directly because St. John's wort is incredibly good for healing any scars, any wounds, any infections, and in combination with the DMSO, it's just pure gold. So I also only use that amount of DMSO and the rest I diluted with colloidal silver. So that's always a good combination, colloidal silver or also colloidal copper for when you want to use like, or make like a face cream or face serum. Then colloidal copper is really good because it also helps with the aging process. And so yeah, that's for scars. For anyone who came out of operation, I can only highly recommend that, because what it also does, if you have a scar and the scar is not even, once you apply the DMSO over months, weeks and months, it will even the skin and will help the tissue to grow back much better in a more healthy way, in a more connected way, and it will flatten the skin. I've also seen videos of people who had like major scars from operations, and I could see the development, and it really does something. So I do many different experiments with my skin. This here is fir tree needles and DMSO, and it just smells amazing. I can really smell the sort of sap, the resin from the fir tree that comes out in like that DMSO fir needle solution. So that's already, I don't know, a week old. I will let it sit much longer because I didn't cut the needles. I just let it sit like this, and I want it to be very strong. Fir has a lot of vitamin C. It helps you to fight free radicals. It has like rich in antioxidants, so that's also a really good skin toner, I would assume. This is Amanita muscaria. I peeled off the skin from the mushroom because this is where most of the good stuff sits. Again, this is also recommended for, it is in general, I'm not recommending, it's for like arthritis, like joint pains and stuff, but you can also make like a healing salve for your skin for any wounds and cuts and infections. Apparently it's also really good, but once again, do your own research. I also have it's now downstairs, I don't have it here with me, but another solution where I added Icelandic moss and DMSO, and you can either use that, actually Icelandic moss is often for like throat infections, like coughing and having like sore tonsils and stuff. You can even smudge with that your room because it has such a high potency, and they even say it's like a natural antibiotic for any, you know, fungus infections, viruses, bacteria. So I made that extract from the Icelandic moss. It also smells so amazing. It's this beautiful light radiant green color, and you don't have to be afraid that then you look like green when you apply it. So it's also really good for helping the skin to have like a natural barrier where it keeps the moist inside your skin. If you have very dry skin, I even would say or assume that people who are dealing with like a kind of dermatitis where it becomes so itchy and dry and very red, they could benefit from that very well because it helps you to moisturize the skin. I would personally use that in combination with aloe vera. So I would make the Icelandic moss and aloe vera extract with DMSO and then mix them once you use it. When you use it, what I do, let's say this is the aloe vera, it actually is aloe vera gel or serum, which is so good for any basically any skin condition, you would first need to clean your face. What I like to use is bicarbonate as a scrub. Not always, just sometimes, to not destroy the natural microbiome from the skin. Or like a coffee scrub, obviously an organic one, just to like, you know, rub off all the dead skin so it becomes very soft, the pores are open. Then I would use like a flower essence, maybe like a rose mist, face mist, to open up the pores even more. Once you have done that, I would then use the aloe vera gel, either pure or the DMSO version. I would add it on my palm. Then I would take whatever kind of DMSO extract you want to use, the fir needles, the Icelandic moss. I would gently mix it. And here I have to say that it can become warm, so don't be afraid of a chemical reaction that it might burn your skin or something. That's normal, that sort of warm reaction. It's just warm. And then you apply it. I would leave out the eyes because the eyes are just very sensitive. And before you use it, I would also say just test it here on your wrist to see if you have any allergic reaction, just to make sure, you know. Once that's fine, you can obviously apply it in your face. And once you did that, I then would add any nice facial oil. What I always love to use is pomegranate seed oil. Castor oil is a very, very potent one. Raspberry seed oil, apricot kernel oil, rosehip oil, did I mention that already? But again, with the oils, I actually also make my own oils using either sesame seed or almond oil as a base, and then I would collect different herbs and let them sit for at least 8 weeks in the sun. So it's always a little bit like lukewarm. And yeah, anyways, but that's for another video. So first clean your face, then add the serum, aloe vera in combination with the DMSO extract, and in the end add some of your favorite face oil. If you don't want to do that and that's too much, and you already have your favorite cream and you are convinced by the ingredients that they are natural and you can eat them, because I wouldn't put anything on my skin that I cannot eat, because your skin is your biggest organ. You're detoxing a lot with the skin. So yeah, then use that cream that you already have in combination with DMSO, because the DMSO helps the cream to be reabsorbed even more deeply into your tissue, which then obviously makes it more effective. If you have any wrinkles and you think like, oh god, I want to, like, I don't know, moisten my skin a bit more, then as I said, castor oil is really, really good. I would just always use it in combination with DMSO, because DMSO just helps you, you know, in general. And I mean, wrinkles and little scars from pimples, that's all like a damage, and DMSO can help you to just even that a little bit more out. So this, and another tip that I can also give you is it's called Nascent Iodine. I use a product by, I think it's called Global Health something, by a guy named Dr. Group, and he invented that Nascent Iodine, and he and his wife, they're also using it in the face, around the eyes, because they say that this Nascent Iodine, I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry, but I think it's called Nascent Iodine. It helps to also repair the skin, and with that comes then less wrinkles. So yeah, I think that's basically it. And another side note I would like to say, when you use the DMSO, it can start to tingle quite a bit depending on how sensitive you are. Once you're used to it, it actually isn't that bad anymore. I don't actually mind. I now applied, before I started the video, I applied some of that stuff here, and it's tingling now, and it might become red for some time, but if you're at home or you don't mind, then it's okay, you know. But if that's too intense for you, you can always go lower, because I now maybe used a little bit too much of the direct extract and didn't mix it enough with the other ingredients that I usually use, like that aloe vera gel. So that's just a side effect that can happen. And if you're just annoyed by too many different bottles and stuff, you can always use like a dropper bottle, and then, as I said, for the face use the 30%. Then you can add the aloe vera gel for maybe another 30%, and the rest of the remaining 40% you can fill up with colloidal copper, and then you just mix it and make sure it's never like this but always upright, because obviously when you look here, this is also plastic, and that might then touch the plastic, which then would end up being in your little mix here. So it's quite important to be very, very strict and very accurate with it, and always work clean. Have clean hands, clean your face before you use it, because whatever is on your skin, and that obviously can also be pollution from the air, it will then land in your body. Another thing that I also did, which I also really like, is using Zeolite as a mask and adding some of the DMSO and mixing it with distilled water. Make sure you're not using the distilled water for your iron machine, but actually properly distilled water, or buy some cleansed osmosis water, or you have a water filter at home, then I would always use that clean, pure water. And then you mix like a paste, and then you apply it, and then the DMSO obviously also helps the zeolite to be reabsorbed in your skin, and the zeolite can take out any heavy metals and toxins from the body that we obviously absorb on a daily basis, just because we live unfortunately in a toxic world. So I hope I could inspire you with some of the things. I think if you liked that video, let me know. I was thinking also to show you a recipe that I did of like quite a special healing balm for any cuts, scars, wounds, fever blisters. It's quite potent. As you can tell, I'm experimenting around since some years, and I just found a combination out of different ingredients where I personally feel, and I have quite a sensitive skin, that it really helped me to let these wounds heal much faster. So if you want to know about it, let me know, and I will share my recipe with you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and once again, do your own research on DMSO. Get yourself a bottle. You can also buy these 30% solution bottles. They're usually mixed with some type of magnesium. People use it for when they have pain after sports, to let the magnesium be absorbed much deeper in their tissue. Others use DMSO when they have cavity. Get a book about DMSO. There are so many different ways how to use it on warts and so on. So, but yeah, if you just want to use it for your skincare routine, I highly recommend you to just get some of that pharmaceutical DMSO. You can get it from Amazon, and yeah, then experiment around. Use the plants or the mushrooms that you feel drawn to. And have I told you about this one? Yeah, I think I did. Amanita muscaria. Anyways, I leave it here. It's nearly 20 minutes. Thanks for watching. Bye.